Hey YouTube, today's video is about the Sigma 16mm f1.4. I bought this lens for $250 on Facebook Marketplace, and this video is my first impressions from the perspective of a new content creator. So I just started making content this year, and my very first premium camera is an A6700, and out of all the reviews I watched, I decided to, or because of the reviews I watched, I decided to pick up this lens in particular, and I could not be happier with this lens. I mean, it's a little large, but the fact that it has the f1.4 aperture allows my camera to get a lot more blur, a lot more bokeh, right? And that's what everybody's after. So I bought it, you know, a day before Thanksgiving, and the very first thing I did is I slapped it on my A6700, and I went ahead and recorded our Thanksgiving dinner. Just so you know, I didn't make a particularly good effort in trying to edit all these photos or take the best photos or video. I just simply slapped it on there and pressed record from time to time throughout the night. And this export, of course, is in 1080p, so I'll let you check that out right now. Yo!
Happy
Thanksgiving.
We
Love to
eat
turkey
and drink.
wine.
Good night.
The rest of this video, I'm just going to compare this lens to the only other camera setups that I have. In case you're a new creator like me, you're coming from these smaller lenses and smaller cameras, you can just get an idea of what this lens has to offer compared to the other vlog setups. So just for reference, I'm recording on the ZV-1F right now. My camera on the go is the Osmo Pocket 3, and this is my third lens for this camera. My very first lens, of course, was the 16 to 50 millimeter, you know, I guess you call it the kit lens that came with the camera. And this lens is cool because it takes up a small footprint on the camera, and using that power zoom is a lot of fun. So then from there, I decided to upgrade to the Sigma 10 to 18 millimeter. This is a zoom lens, a manual zoom lens. I did pay full price for this one, $500 plus tax, but I like this one because it goes down to 10 millimeter, and I need that ultra wide capability for my profession, which is glass installations and glass design. So I like to go back and take pictures and videos of our products, and you can find examples of those buried across my channel. But I needed that 10 millimeter, you know, ultra wide focal length for some of the tight rooms that I you know, take pictures of our projects and whatnot. But this lens, it only goes down to 2.8, aperture of 2.8, which is fine. But what I was after is that bokeh that everybody, you know, of course wants, the background and the foreground blur. So next will be test footage of each of these setups in the various environments that I shoot at, starting with my office. Here we go. Okay, test A. ZV-1F, typical talking head setup in my YouTube studio / office. How does it look? Test footage B. This is the Osmo Pocket 3, typical talking head setup in my office. How does it look? Okay, test footage C. This is the A6700 with the Sigma 16mm aperture wide open at f1.4. How does it look? Hopefully it looks pretty good, because this is the best look in my opinion. I'm sitting right in front of the picture that's behind me, and I can see in my little selfie camera that even with the background this close, I still get lots of blur. This is the kit lens, the original kit lens, the power zoom set to 16 millimeters with the aperture as low as it goes, which is 3.5 at this focal length. Doesn't look bad. What do you think? How does it look? Okay, this is the final talking head shot. This is the Sigma 10 to 18 manual zoom lens. The widest aperture is f2.8. That is what I have it set on now. How does it look? Okay, this is the Sony ZV-1F typical vlogging setup. How does it look? I think vlogging on this looks like shit. Okay, this is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, typical vlogging setup. How does it look? Okay, this is the Sigma 16mm f1.4, typical vlogging setup. How does it look? 16-50 power zoom, typical vlogging setup. How does it look? Okay, this is the Sigma 10-18 set at 16mm, typical vlogging setup. How does it look? This is the Sony ZV-1F, the 20mm built-in lens at its widest aperture in my kitchen. There's a mixture of artificial light and natural light. How does it look? Okay, here is the Osmo Pocket 3, shot in my kitchen. Built-in aperture, f2.0, 20mm fixed lens, mixture of natural and artificial light. How does it look? Here's a shot in my kitchen of the Sigma 16mm at f1.4, mixture of natural and unnatural light. How does it look? Here is a shot of the kit lens in my kitchen with natural and unnatural light. How does it look? Here is the Sigma 10-18 zoom lens in my kitchen with a mixture of both natural and unnatural light. How does it look? This is how the Sigma 16mm appears on my a6700. It is by far the biggest lens that I have. So I guess not as easy to travel with, but it does look pretty serious, man. Like if I show up to a shoot with this bad boy in my hands, no one is going to question me, unlike my Osmo Pocket 3. This is the Sigma 10-18mm ultra wide lens. It's a zoom lens, and this is the camera that lives, this is the lens that lives on my camera every day in my backpack because I need that ultra wide capability. Here is the original 16-50mm kit lens on my a6700. This one by far has the lowest profile and feels lightest in the hand. So here's kind of the lineup all side by side. I do like all of these lenses because they each bring something to the table. The kit lens is small and cheap, so I'm not afraid to damage it. I enjoy the power zoom. The ultra wide lens I use for basically real estate style photography, some videography, and then of course my newest lens, the 16mm f1.4, is going to be my new lens for my YouTube studio setup and anytime I want to take portrait style photography, because this f1.4 aperture will allow for the most amount of bokeh. Yeah. Okay, so this is the Sigma 10-18 zoom next to the Sigma 60mm prime lens. As you can see, the prime lens is a lot bigger. They both feel premium in the hand. This one obviously feels lighter. This is the one that lives on my camera because of the zoom range that I use, which obviously I use for my real estate stuff. But I would say the biggest difference between the two of them is the way the lens hood goes on. So let me just show you what I mean. On the newer Sigma lenses, it kind of has like this push spring, so it has that little arrow to line up on that little flat spot, so you kind of have to lock it in that way, and then to unlock it you kind of push and release, and then to put it back on you have to line it up in the exact perfect spot and kind of click, and then it's on there. So this is my first lens that had a lens hood, so I didn't know any better, but I do say I will have to say that I prefer the way that this lens hood works better, where you spin it, like a bottle cap, and then to put it back on I don't really have to line it up. I just have to put it on there, like a bottle cap, and the thread will find its space and it's on. So I will say I am a fan of the old lens hood over the new style lens hood, just because I don't even have to look at it. I could be blind if I can put that lens hood on and off, and I feel like it's more secure when it's on there. But at any rate, I am very happy with both my Sigma lenses, and each of them will have its purpose for me in my toolkit. Final thoughts from the perspective of a newbie. I am not a hardcore photographer, videographer, not yet. I'm just getting started in my journey. And I can say without a doubt, my favorite lens to date is the Sigma 16mm f1.4, simply because of its price to value range in the used market. $250 combined with my A6700, which I also paid $1,000 in the used market. So for a grand total of $1,250, I have the ability to take incredibly professional photos and videos. And this is just the beginning of my journey. If you enjoyed, please subscribe and like, and stay tuned for more content as I learn to become a better content creator as we level up together and move on to the next one. So I'll see you next time, guys. Thanks. Peace.